Okay, this video is a continuation in a series on bugging in, or on what some people would call sheltering in place. Throughout this series, I'll take you through various sections of our house and in the process discuss some construction-based ideas that I've implemented over the years. Hopefully you can glean a few ideas that may be helpful to you and your family. In this video, we'll complete our tour of the bunker room by finally examining the dry storage area, as well as its organization and contents. Now, you've already seen the entrance to this area in previous videos. Let me go over these items very quickly so that we can later get to the vertical storage concepts. Here we have two 55-gallon drums of clean drinking water. For more information on this item, refer to my food and water storage video. Here's a large paper target storage rack, and we'll be getting into its construction in just a bit. A gun vise here, a pistol vise, and some range targets. Now, I staple them here just to periodically remind myself of my level of proficiency and whether I need to brush up on certain techniques. Now, here's a hand truck with a wooden back modification. I secured it by simply drilling a couple of holes around each fastening point here. I then used tie wraps to cinch it all down. After about 4 years, it's still going strong. Never underestimate the uses or durability of a simple tie wrap. On the other side here, I created a mail center of sorts. I attached a coil of stamps here on this hinge hasp, as well as different sized envelopes up above it. And down here I have 1 and 2 cent stamps for postage rate adjustments. Over here is a heavy duty siphon for use with the 55-gallon water drum. Just take this bung wrench here, unscrew this top, and screw in the siphon. It delivers water at a rate of 5 gallons per minute and fits 2-inch NPT threads. Now, for an alternate water retrieval system, use the super siphon. Place the metal end into your liquid, shake vigorously a few times, and you get a very good flow rate. I keep one for gasoline in the back, and this one stays here as an alternate for the water drum. I also color-coded each with either red or blue electrical tape so as to not confuse the two. And here are some aluminum crutches along with an excellent knee brace. And finally, a shovel and funnel for emergencies. Okay, now regarding this vertical target rack here, let's first take a look at one of the rack panels. I used a 2 foot by 4 foot 3/4 inch plywood panel, and I cut it down to 31 inches lengthwise. I then cut 2 other panels in an identical fashion and supported it on either side with 2x4s. Now, just to give you some overall perspective, the back edge here is 6 feet or 72 inches, and the front supports are 64 inches, and the front bottom edge of the top panel is 58 inches. And also, the distance between each shelf is 9.5 inches on the wall. Now, you can use these stats here or tailor this design to your own liking. Now, for me, I first began with a 2-foot horizontal support at 72 inches, drilling it in place. Next, I marked 58 inches here on my front vertical supports, and while placing the shelf on the rear wall support, I brought it down until it was level with the 58-inch mark. I then marked the area underneath the shelf on both sides. I drilled each brace onto both vertical supports, and then I drilled the shelf into the horizontal wall support. I then finished it off with 1/2-inch screws to the underside of the shelf itself. And finally, I secured a 1.5-inch border here to prevent the target cases from sliding off. Now, to prep the next rack shelf, simply measure and mark 9.5 inches down from your top horizontal wall support and 9.5 inches down from the front bottom edge of the top panel. Now, repeat the previous steps for each corresponding rack shelf. For this small display here, I used a 9.5-inch plywood backing with a 2.5-inch high border, only because I stack a lot of shoot-and-sees in this area. Find your desired angle and secure the backing with braces in the manner previously described. Now, on the other side here, we have our dry food storage area. As you can see, this area was originally organized with 2 rows of shelving from the bottom upward, and it stood this way for some time. Then recently, I decided to utilize the unused wall space above it, not by adding more shelves, but by placing lightweight items on hooks that hung downward. Now, let's take a closer look here. Here you see all the MRE items that I previously reviewed in my bug out food videos. Here's where they stay stored until I need them, whether for hiking, camping, tactical exercises, hunting, road trips, or what have you. We have the usual suspects: peanut butter, jam, crackers, pound cake, First Strike sandwiches, some Mountain House, fruit mix, nuts and raisins, cheese spread, and MRE main entrees. I hung these items using pegboard retort hooks. Since these items here are valuable to me because of their long shelf life, I didn't want to risk punching holes along the sealed edge, so I hung them using these binder clips. On this side we have store-bought bug-out food, again at the ready for whatever activity we have in mind. With these I was able to punch holes along their sealed edges, which tend to be wider. However, a good number of these retort bags already came with convenient hanger holes. Now, in order to construct this system, I simply secured this railing onto the wall support using wooden spacers. First, pre-drill a hole to prep the spacer, then use 2-inch screws to secure them every 12 inches or so. And the prongs of the hangers here fit nicely into these holes, with the downward prong resting nicely against the base here. Now, I could have used pegboard, yes, but guys, this was a late night project. The stores were all closed, so I had to use what I already had in the house. And here's the rest of our long-term storage underneath, which again, I explain in more detail in my food and water storage video. And finally, here's the ammo and small weapons locker, which is the only remaining area of the bunker room that we have up to this point not discussed. Technically speaking, this is vertical storage, but it is storage that is likewise locked. An expedient method for creating a locking mechanism is to secure a thick-gauged eye bolt into the edge of the left panel, as you see here. Using a large drill bit, bore out a rectangular opening to accommodate the eye bolt. Fasten small metal plates on either side, and you've got a pretty formidable locking mechanism. It's not Fort Knox, but good enough for just general security. Okay, there you have it. That completes the entire layout of the bunker room. Again, this room was designed with a multitude of purposes in mind. It is an in-house maintenance repair station, a sleepover bunk room, an overhead storage area, and also a place where all of our camping, hunting, or training food is stored. As it expires, new food can be rotated in very easily since the layout is all arranged vertically and at eye level. So when we camp or hunt, we simply pick and choose throughout the year from an ever-changing array of choices. Okay, that's it for now. Next up, the team room. Until next time, this is Analytical Survival saying, stay safe, my brothers and sisters.